This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available. This is useful when one has the complex logarithm available.